Hey guys, this is Dan Greck from The Road Chose Me, and you are listening to the Trailhead podcast.
Hello, Trailheads, and welcome to the Trailhead. Before the trails start today, we need to have a short safety meeting. Off-roading is an exhilarating but inherently risky sport. The insights and opinions that are shared by our hosts and any experts or guests on the podcast are intended to inform and inspire, not replace professional guidance. The Trailhead guests, partners, and any sponsors are not liable for any actions that you take based on what you hear. It is your responsibility to seek professional advice and make informed decisions, especially when attempting potentially dangerous activities. Always check current trail conditions and comply with local laws and regulations. Off-roading requires careful preparation and respect for safety, so ensure that you're well prepared before hitting the trails. And now that that's out of the way, buckle up and let the stories begin.
Welcome to the Trailhead, where trails start and stories unfold.
One, two, three.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Now here's JD.
Welcome to the Trailhead. Hey guys, how you doing?
Welcome.
Hey.
Alyssa, we've lost you, I think. I don't know if we...
Bienvenidos.
Oh, really? Or did I just not make
there
a
you
sound?
are. Maybe
I don't think
your
you
mouth
came.
like...
Nothing came out.
Okay.
I tried. I saw that too, and I was like, oh, nothing came out. Maybe they didn't notice I didn't say hi.
Nope, 100% caught me, and I was just like, oh shit, here we go.
Oh, sorry.
All right. That's okay.
stupid
How you doing?
technology. I'm good. How are you?
Doing
I'm
all
embarrassed
right.
now, but I'm good.
That's all right. That's come on. You've been on this show for a while. You should know better than to think that's an embarrassing moment.
That's
all
true.
right.
Blame it
This
on
is like
JD.
bottom of the list.
Oh, 100%. Blame it on me. I don't care. I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'm
he hit
here
the
all
mute
week.
button. I saw it.
Sure. Let's
Yep.
go with that.
That's what it is.
Oops.
All right. Well, Alyssa, while we have you then, vehicle still running? Any issues? No? Nothing broken?
Nope. Nothing broken.
Do any trails
no.
or end up in Moab?
No, not this weekend. I ended up at Adams Polishes instead, and we ceramic coated. Sorry, who's playing this toy? We ceramic coated my windshield, so hopefully now
Oh,
with like rain, it's just like. So we'll see. But we did that, and then we ceramic coated some new floor mats that I got too. So hopefully
That's
it's a little easier to clean everything.
very nice. Do you have an
Yeah,
Adams there
thank you.
locally?
Yeah, there's one Adams
Okay.
Polishes here in Scottsdale. I think there's
All
just that one, the Denver one, and one California one. I think are the only
Yeah,
locations right now. But
I thought they were based out of Denver, but I could be wrong. That could just be
Yeah.
my Denver-centric
No, they are.
focus. Okay.
yeah, they're like from Denver, and then this was their second store, I think.
Yeah, I have a bunch of their stuff, so some of it's overkill. But yeah, I have a bunch of their stuff. I got the foam
Yeah.
cannon. Like, it's one of those
Oh,
things where I'm like, I don't
yeah.
I don't need this.
No, is it the one for your pressure washer or for like the garden hose?
For your
'Cause both
pressure
of them are
washer.
great, but yeah, me too.
It works great. I
I
just
like it.
I already
Mhm.
have all the swirls and scratches. Like, I'm not gonna put any more in by just washing my Jeep. So that
Yeah.
foam cannon is meant for people with nice paint jobs.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's my only issue. It was just a waste of
Yeah.
money for me. That's all. It's not that it's not a good product.
What about the
No.
drill with
See,
the
I-
round sponge attachment? Is that meant for good people with good paint jobs?
Yeah.
Nope.
Ooh.
And I have one of those too. I have multiples of those.
Funny,
Those
I
are
just
great.
wait till it rains.
Yeah.
They're like, sweet,
Yeah.
it's,
Well,
it's washed.
Yeah.
So,
It only happens like
I'm way too
a
vain.
handful of times out here. Mhm.
Yeah, Alyssa doesn't really
It's
have
just
that
like
kind of
rain.
luxury because she gets rain like 3
No.
times a year.
Yeah. And monsoon season doesn't work either because like it'll come through and then after the rain's gone, all the dirt and dust will come through
Blow
with
through.
the wind. And then it's like,
sticks.
yeah. And then we have wet cars with dirt. And you're like, okay.
'Cause everybody has a red
Like a
car
dirt
instead
mask.
of the white one that you purchased. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that too. All the black cars look great after a rainstorm.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
So bad.
I couldn't do that to myself. I love myself too much to get another black vehicle, Ryan.
It is what it is.
Mhm.
I think
I
I'm
should've
just
learned
tired
my
of washing
lesson.
mine during springtime when the pollen. You guys get red sand, we get green pollen, and
Ooh.
it's just all you do is hose it off, and then summer comes around, you could care less anymore. You can
My
forget it.
in-laws
Just-
get that. My
Yeah.
in-laws, they're 5 minutes from here, and they just it's Jen had her car there for 4 hours, and her blue car is now like a yellow greenish color. Yep,
It's
it's
disgusting.
fun. It's fun. I love spring,
I like
but
how
I'm
you guys
glad.
I'm glad. I like how you guys are in spring, and Alyssa and I are like midsummer already.
You're already melting to death.
Yeah, it's
I
already
know.
done.
Yeah. Yeah, when Randy hopped on, I was going to say, I'm so jealous you're wearing sweatshirts.
Well,
I
it's been
I am dying.
we've been cooking, like Vernal was hot, everything was hot. And so today it cooled off for like 2 days.
Yeah, there's a cold front blowing through
Yeah,
right
Nice.
now.
so nice. I'm loving it. I was like, I want a hoodie on.
Nice. Yeah, the other day we dropped to 103. It was really
Dropped to
nice.
103.
Oh boy!
Man.
We were like, oh wow.
Like, what's the nighttime temperature overnight? Like, what's the low?
That's a good question. In like July, August, mainly like August, September, it'll still be in the hundreds. I haven't looked at it lately, but it'll be low hundreds.
Oof.
It just stays. I think it's just the city, like all the pavement and the, I don't know, like this, like everything just holds the heat. In the desert,
Yeah.
it's different. In the desert, it's like 5 degrees cooler or something. But in the city, it's just hot all the time. There's no escaping
Ugh.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like in my 20s going to bars and like getting out when they closed at like 2:30, and it was still hot. Like it's just not any better at 3 or 4 in the morning. Like it's still hot.
Yeah, I just couldn't. Every time I think about it, like today it was 90, and I was just like, I don't want to be outside for very long.
Dude, today we had 70s. It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
That sounds
It
so
was like
nice.
the nicest day. Like, and it was kind of this cold front that was like coming in. So it was like a cold breeze with the 70s. And it's been like 100 plus all week long. So I feel like I needed it.
This is my world.
Just pass that over here.
This is my 70s right here. This right there.
Yeah, today was
Is that-
dreamy.
Like I think I just threw up in my mouth that you said it was 70.
It was dreamy today.
Is that the
Yeah, we're
misting
gonna-
one too?
Yeah.
No, that'd be horrible. I would just all day long. My wife would be like non-existent in my world if that thing threw water at me too.
The misters are like one of the best inventions of the recent past that I can like the long tubes. We installed one of those along our lights in the backyard. So on a nice hot day, you just plug that into the thing and mist away for the day.
Of course, there's enough humidity down here that you really don't need it. You just change the water in the air to you're good.
Just wring out your clothes. Yeah. Ugh. I don't miss it. I don't miss it.
do humidity heat. That's just a nightmare. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
We're hot
I
and
can't
dry,
anymore.
so we can turn on like a mister and it feels great.
There you go. Yeah. Well, Ryan, so did you break a vehicle this week? Do you still have all your vehicles? What is your status, sir?
What did I fix last time? Oh, so when I first got the rig, I took the sway bar off the rear because it was stock, and I was like, well, that's done. Of course, the bolts wouldn't come out. It took me 3 days to get the bolt. I ended up cutting the sway bar and just pulling it apart, but the brackets were up underneath there. Well, now I want to put it back on to see if it helps with some suspension issues. So now I took 3 days to pull the bolts out, soak them in what's the rust buster stuff.
Oh yeah.
whatever it's called, and then of course took a torch to them and finally got all 4 of them off. So that's that was a fun
I'm proud of you
project.
for actually getting all of the bolts off and not just
Yes.
calling it good at 3.
No, they all came off finally. It just
Okay.
took a while. It's that one project you always. I think Nathan asked this question a few weeks ago, like, "Hey, honey, I'm gonna go out and pull these 4 bolts off." 3 days later, I'm like, "I'm gonna come inside now that I'm got them all taken off."
Mhm.
So yeah, that was a mess and a half. I've been figuring out I love JKs and these stupid wheel speed sensors. Like they are the worst. I don't know what happened with that. It is the worst invention ever.
Wait, are you
They
having
never
issues
work.
with it now?
Oh, they never work. I can't get them to function. I don't know how many times I replace them. OEM, Japan parts. I finally was talking with a buddy who, on the Dana 60 rears, he said the only way he got his to work was he had to shave off part of the plastic on the wheel speed sensor because it won't sit inside the seed far enough to get a read. So we're going to try that next. So we've been working on that crap. But no, it's other than just the main fix an oil leak, find another one every day Jeep stuff. No, it's good. The list still continues to grow of things that have to be fixed. And
I stopped making the list.
So
That was my solution. I just stopped acting like a list exists and like there are things to do. And
just
then
ride it until it doesn't ride anymore.
I mean, that's how. Well, that's apparently how the Mopar extended warranty folks want me to ride it too. But that's them, so they're the ones going to put a new motor in it. Anyway, all right. Well, that's good, dude. Thanks to your shock work and the constant conversations that I've been having about shocks for the last couple of weeks, I've determined that is probably what is causing my substantially bad ride now. Because the shocks are 8 years old, and they were used by someone who beat them up, I'm sure, before he gave them to me secondhand because he upgraded to something else.
What are they?
And Bilsteins.
Okay.
So they can't be serviced. Nobody can service them because they don't make the seals and parts for them. So I'm just going to have to get new shocks, which is fine. I want to get something more substantial since it's already an aftermarket part.
And you have a 3-inch, 2.5-inch? What's on yours?
2.5 inch.
2.5. And who makes your spring?
Yep. That I don't know. I'd have to look.
Huh.
I didn't install it, so I'd have to look.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
We'll see. It's more shit I don't have money for. So.
Well, the funny thing
We'll
is,
see.
I got this one back. I don't know if I said this last time. I got this one back, and every bump I hit on the right side felt like the tire was going through the fender. I mean, it was just a hard thud, and I was like, "What the heck?" And my buddy's got a nitrous kit, whatever it is, with the reader and all that. And I was like, "Hey,
Okay.
measure this foot pounds because it's supposed to be about. I think on those King shots, it's supposed to be about 130 to 150. It was reading 200 on one of them, so that was a quick and easy fix to just pull some air out of that one, and that rides 10 times better.
It's awesome.
But of course, that makes you start thinking, well, how do we make it even ride even better? Which are dumb questions because then you start screwing things up. So we'll see how long before I have to order new coilovers before I blow these up.
That's the problem. Is I fear that if I upgrade it, it's something else for me to break. So we'll see.
That's everything.
Yeah, I know. It's the never-ending cycle. It's a circle of upgrades. Oh. Well, all right. Pope and Randy, welcome back.
Oh, it is good to be back.
Did you guys enjoy your time at Vernal?
We did. I feel like we were gone for a month. We do vernal, and then when we do is called sick days afterwards. It started 3 years ago when Matt and Julie came into town, and they were like, "We're in town," and I actually think he called in sick, and so we were like, "Well, Gem and the Misfit sick day was begun," and then last year we went to vernal, and then it kind of like, it's a way for us to like show one of our favorite places to our friends that we've met at these events and things like that, and then bring them back and show like our hood and our like neighborhood trails and stuff like that. And it's a magical, like, I don't know, just the friends we've made in this community and the things that we've done are just, it blows my mind. So it was a magical week, a lot of stress. There was a lot of things that happened. I think we're all a little bit traumatized and tired, and we're probably going to sleep for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
but it was amazing. It was amazing. And all, like, it was like a whole full trip of all the garbage that could possibly happen.
Everybody was struggling to get in to Vernal the first night.
Oh,
Josh forgot his keys to his Jeep.
45 minutes on a 6.5 hour drive, 45 minutes before he hit Vernal, he realized he left his keys in the garage.
And he had someone meet him about 2.5 hours back, halfway, something like that. And then Julie was having diff fluid problems from
to the point
beginning.
where it was flipping up onto Matt's windshield.
Yeah, so
on their drive-in. So then they pulled over to Best Off-Road, and our friend Joe helped them get into the shop, and they got them squared away and taken care of. Jem didn't actually make it to Vernal, so that was like my big problem. It was just like every single person that came into town had some sort of nightmare getting.
I mean, it sounds like
it's
it's a good thing that Jem didn't make it. Like, it's otherwise you would have had an issue, is based on the historical evidence now.
Misfit, on the other hand,
Misfit
did so well.
Yeah, I saw it.
He is.
I only managed to damage one thing, and the video where I jumped my Jeep up the hill is where it happened. The driver's side tie rod boot blew out on that.
I can't imagine.
Shocking.
That's where he lifted 2 tires last year, and he was being so good. It was like one bean.
And then all of a sudden I got to that.
He pulls up to the obstacle, and I looked at him. I'm like, don't you dare. And he's like, and he giggled and then went to do it. And he forgot to put his lockers in, so he didn't even grip. And he just floated.
Oh, yeah. And
I was going to say that first attempt looked bad.
It flipped me over there.
It looked elementary, buddy. And I was like, what are you doing?
It looked like I didn't know what I was doing for sure. So I really had to step it up on the second attempt and make it look perfect.
Somebody knew what he's doing. He was trying to take time.
No, I did it.
What would happen if he didn't hit it? Like,
yeah, my Jeep's long. I know what would happen, and my Jeep's long enough I can get away with it. I even commented in my thing, don't try this if you're in a short wheelbase, because I'm pretty sure that would not work.
I mean, it would just be on your top.
Yeah. So I had a little bit of fun on that spot. I had a little bit of fun on Bronco Buster.
You had a lot of fun.
But
you started playing gassing games, and then you made sure your lockers were on, and it was all good.
Yeah. You get that one at the beginning where you're like, oh crap, I forgot what I was doing here.
I was going to say the second attempt looked very much more smooth.
Well, he knew what he was supposed to do. He just wanted to lift tires before it even hit the rock.
I knew you could get away with extra, but I found there's too much extra potentially on that one. So
I was going to say we had a kind of a saying in our younger days. You always had to hit it 2-wheel drive and then 4-wheel drive, and then you could lock it.
Oh, there you go.
You didn't make it.
Pope, I just marked that moment so that I can come back to it later to actually reference that you did say there are too many, and there is too much.
There is. Just mark it on your calendar too, because
he played a lot of 5 beans this weekend.
Yeah, like in Sand Hollow the week before, I was doing 1 bean, trying real hard to keep it under control. But then I got on the trail where I'm familiar with what everything does, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I get away with here. And my motor loves to be loud, and I have to accommodate that, you know.
I have to. I just have to let it speak.
Hey, you paid enough for it, so
yeah.
Let it
grumbles.
roar.
He's like a grumpy old man. He's like go 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 go. It's like a grumbling little like bitchy thing behind you. It's just like remember I'm here, remember I'm here, remember I'm here. It's pretty fun. I got to drive him too. It was really a good time.
Yeah, it's the funnest part of it is just knowing that it has the power to climb over everything, and then when I want to go fast, it can go fast. And just it was great in everything I put it in this time around. The only thing that it got messed up was by user error, I would say. This new steering held up straight. The damn thing still drives straight. That was incredible. The Steer Smarts set up with their new clamps. That thing, they did not move. Like the toe did not get messed up. I did make one or two adjustments to the drag link during the trip, but it still drives straight. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that.
It's insanely beefy.
It's like the land of off-camber sends.
Yeah, off-camber sends. It's great.
Camber sending, and then you have to hit something when you get up there. So it's like his steering should not have been straight by the end of this trip.
We should have changed my tire on the first day. I got a great big slash on Red Mountain, and I decided to just let it sit until it ran out of air, and it made it all the way to the last day. And then my friend Josh and Dirt Road Journey were plugging it with plugs for me. I'm like, cool. I have never seen this done in real life, so I'm kind of learning something here.
Well, and then Josh had 2 slits. I think
Josh had 2 holes.
I saw Josh's video that he just shredded tires. Yeah,
he lost 2. He ended up shredding 2 tires. I shredded 1. That tire's still holding air in the garage. It's just now being demoted to the spare, and then the spares now come down off the back.
It seems fair.
I'm going to probably buy a new tire when Mickey's come out with their 20-inch diameter 42s.
Where do you buy your tires from?
Usually from our shops.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm always a big fan. I realize that discount tire isn't exactly the flashiest, but I always love their certificates, man. They'll replace that shit for anything.
That's what Josh does with his. I don't know that I could get the 42-inch Mickeys from Discount Tire.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if you give enough lead time, they can get you anything.
Probably.
All right.
But yeah, Josh is actually using that certificate with his 2 tires that he blew up. And he mounts them himself, so he just throws them on and takes care of it. So.
No, I'm too lazy. I'll give him the 30 minutes to do it.
Well, he has beadlocks, so most shops won't touch beadlocks.
Good point. Very, very good point.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the number one reason why we don't buy our stuff at regular tire shops is because they nope, no thank you, not touching that.
Well, we could put our
my 35s are easy, so they're not exactly breaking the bank.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah,
well, I'm glad you didn't bust anything.
Rally was a blast, though. We did.
Great trip.
It was great friends, great trips. We found out that a lot of people were surprised by how different this rock is from everything else that we do. Like
What's that?
It is a shale, crumbly rock.
Mm.
It's kind of like
it's feral,
brand new sandstone trails in Sand Hollow with way less grip because the trail's still breaking out from underneath your tires as you're kind of climbing up stuff.
And that's what I love about it, but I didn't realize how weird it was because we've been wheeling in Vernal.
Yeah, we've been doing this a bit, so we're used to giving it gas to climb, and all of a sudden we bring our slow rock crawling friends out, and they're like, "What the hell is this?"
I'm gonna have to gas.
This is not the Utah I signed on for.
No, we didn't.
We would like to put a prerequisite out there because the expectation wasn't the same as what it is. Like if you go to Vernal, you better like the skinny pedal. I'm just throwing that out there. Just like the skinny pedal. And
even if you've got the 4-banger, it's fine. Yep.
That will not be for me then. I'm too scared I'm gonna break something.
Jem not being there, the first day we were on Docks Beach, and the gatekeeper into Docks Beach is this climb that you just literally just push the gas and you just grab rock and it just keeps breaking and you just kind of and that sound and that way that rock breaks under those tires, my heart broke. It broke into a million pieces that all my friends got to play on it and I didn't. Yeah. It's just the coolest rock.
And it was
pretty
awesome.
At least you're relatively close to it. You can go back when there's not as many people.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to get my Jeep back and then I'll be fine.
Yeah, and then I didn't think that my Jeep, the Misfit, would fit in the cave, but it did.
Oh, yeah. There's a big cave.
There's a big cave you can park in.
I saw that too. How much clearance did you manage to get?
About 4 inches on one of the sides.
Right.
Like the other one side was pretty close, and the other one had about 4. I did need a spotter to get me in and out of it to make sure I could see what the heck I was going to hit or not.
Awesome. You can do a lot with 4 inches.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm here all week, folks.
And we were able to go up to Mineral Basin, which was the coolest thing ever because last year we didn't get to go because the entrance was. And we got to give our friends that were in town still a treat because the water was literally melting from the glaciers up there, and the whole trail was a waterfall and butterflies and wildflowers and like water was just shooting off of mountain ledges.
Like it's not an extremely technical trail, but it is one of the more it is the most technical one up in that area. Oh, it's so fun.
It's so
it's called Mineral Basin?
Yeah, Mineral Basin. Yeah, we got to go up pretty much as far as until the snow crosses over the road, and then that's where you stop. It's closed at the glaciers.
So yeah, it's so pretty though. So that was a treat. That's the first time I've ever seen that canyon cry like that, and that was like the coolest thing. It was like a fairy princess meets like every color of flower was represented somewhere in some patch of something mixed with like butterflies galore. It was just
we woke up the locals. When we posted some videos of that stuff, all of a sudden my DMs were on fire. Like, how do you get into it? Which way did you guys go? Where is it open? And it's funny because it's the main trail from Salt Lake side is closed because there was a washout. But from the side, from Crystal Springs or from Heber area, Midway area, it's open and you can go as far as the washout, and you can get to all the major trails.
So it's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is Trails Off-Road rate this trail?
They got this as a 5 with an optional 6.
5 with an optional 6? Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Yep.
All right. There's not a ton of details here, but that
water crossing is fun as hell to drive through when you.
There was a lot.
I imagine
of water.
it's pretty full this time of year. Yeah.
Yeah, it was too full to splash really well. And you know what? Because there's when it's low like that, you can splash and get it over the top of your roof. Where it was today,
it was up to your roof.
It was up to your headlights almost.
You got to kind of take your time so that you don't damage stuff.
You don't want to suck it into your motor by being a jackass on that one. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the video of the can opener. I got hung up on that.
Because you tried the stupid line.
I went on the stupid line on purpose. It's called a can opener because you slide into it and then it grabs your fender and rips it off.
Triangle thing, but yeah.
Well, this one right here.
Yeah, that one right
9. There. Yeah. All right. Well, good to know. Good to know, because I won't be hitting that one this year. I got too much stuff planned now.
And we've been on the Snowbird side, where Snowbird escorted us up the mountain to where you can get all the way to the Snowbird boundary, and then we cleaned up the trail from Snowbird all the way down to the bottom, going the other way.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I got something like that I'm doing this week too.
Yeah, we drove our Jeeps up to the ski resort cafeteria and had pizza and
the top of the gondola.
And people were like, "What the hell are you guys doing up here in your Jeeps?" Some people are like mad because they hiked all the way up there and rode their mountain bikes, and we drove.
Yeah, there's I signed up for there's a trail here called South Colony, and you get to a certain place and you can't go past. There's a couple of alpine lakes up there. It's gorgeous. A couple of water crossings. And I am going to drive 2 hours on Wednesday morning to drive that trail, drive people up either I'm driving people to a camp or from a camp. They're doing trail work up there for the hiking trails. Right. And they're just a yearly shuttle that does this 3 or 4 times a season. So
I want to make it clear while we're on it, before we go too far from the topic, you don't go into the Snowbird property from the Mineral Basin side. Do not do that. You stop at that sign where it says no trespassing beyond this point. You don't go beyond that point. We had special permission with a special group of people to go do it, and we came from the other side. We didn't come up through there and go the other way.
Anyway,
Well,
he's like,
and-
let me just
I just want to clarify. Don't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's
Taylor Pass in Gunnison County is the same way because it drops on the top of Aspen. You go from Pitkin, Tin Cup, or you go from Taylor Reservoir over to Taylor Pass to Aspen, and yeah, you got to stop. You can't just go drive down. Especially
when it
over
says
there.
private property.
Yeah, you
especially
gotta-
out west. Yeah, there's a lot of guns out west, so just pay attention to the private property.
You do have that out here.
That's the biggest driver for me when respecting private property signs, man. And just I recognize that there's a good chance that the person who put that sign up put it while carrying a gun.
Yeah.
And Snowbird has a whole police force, so you don't want to mess with that.
I was going to say guns or money. Either way, it's not going to work out well for you.
Here's your Blue Ribbon Coalition and land use update for the week of 6/17/2024. A Trailhead's a crucial update about the San Rafael Swell in southern Utah. The Bureau of Land Management is reviewing a travel management plan for over 1.1 million acres of this beautiful area, and they need our input by July 22nd, 2024. The Swell is renowned for its trails and camping opportunities, many of which trace back to old mining routes. The BLM has proposed several management alternatives, but the one that we need to support is Alternative D, the option that focuses on expanding recreational access. Here's how you can help. First, visit the Blue Ribbon Coalition's website to submit your comments. Share your experiences on the trails that you use or plan to use in the Swell. Stress the importance of keeping these routes open through active management and Alternative D. Before you leave your comment, make sure to check out the interactive maps, identify trails you care about, and include them in your comments. Look out for any routes that might be missing and mention those as well. Last, spread the word. Share this update with friends, family, and fellow off-roaders. The more voices we have, the stronger our impact will be. Visit the Blue Ribbon Coalition at sharetrails.org for more information and to submit your comments. Let's work together to keep the San Rafael Swell open. The Blue Ribbon Coalition has announced their support for the Americans with Disabilities Act, introduced by Senator Mike Lee of Utah. This bill is crucial as it would require federal land managers to consider the impact of road closures on people with disabilities, ensuring that motorized access to public lands remains available to everyone. Motorized recreation is vital for those with disabilities to enjoy the health and social benefits of the outdoors. Without it, many are left out. As Ben Burr, BRC's executive director, said, every time decisions are announced to close more of our backcountry roads, I hear from our disabled Americans that they feel discriminated against and ignored. To support this essential cause, visit the Blue Ribbon Coalition's website at sharetrails.org and sign on to show your support. There you can contact your legislators and let them know how important it is to keep our public lands accessible for everyone. That's it for your update for the week at 6/17/2024. Let's get back to it.
Exactly.
That's
So,
amazing.
that was our fun journey. I really recommend if you live in Colorado or Utah, you want to go hit Vernal Rock Rally. It's a small event. We managed to coordinate with our friends to fill up the trail, so it was just our group. So it was pretty fun. In fact, some people didn't make it because the harder trails, they cap them around 15 rigs, was it?
Mm-hmm.
10 to 15 rigs.
Which is so nice when you're
Yeah.
at an event to have a small group. It's small.
So
Runs
like
and
we
stuff.
literally took up 2 trails just with our group of friends where we were the whole group. And so we got to mess around a little more because the only people that would be getting inconvenienced would be us. And for the most part, we're all fairly competent wheelers and we can get through stuff pretty quickly. So that gives us a little more time to play on the obstacles as well. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah,
Nice.
if you want to do it, that's a good way to do it. But you got to get all your people together at like the time the trail's open so you can take over a trail like that. They sell out super fast because of that. So we were on, I think this year we got away with waking up at 6 a.m. to do it. The year before we had to be up at midnight. And the first year we didn't sign up on time at all and we were screwed. So
all right.
Yeah, but it's a wonderful event hosted by some killer people. The locals down there are badass. I love them all.
mhm. There's
Did you guys see?
Cody was in town fixing anybody and anyone.
Yeah, there's an Anarchy off-road shop that would fix anybody for free that needed help if they were part of the Vernal Rock Rally.
And then in everybody's pack, there was like all the numbers of the people to call if you were stuck on trail or anything. They'd come get you. Like all services free, just because they are taking care of everybody in town. So killer
nice.
event if anybody ever goes.
It's not huge like EJS. It's not huge like Trailhead.
No, it's tiny.
It's a tiny event.
Awesome
It's the opposite of that.
A Blue Ribbon Coalition was there. Did you guys run into them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. BRC's always there at one of these as well. Yeah.
Very nice.
It's always good to see those guys.
Yeah, they're just. I'm just really happy to see the presence that they got going now. I think they recognize that they need to be out there with it. So good. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys had fun. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
We held the fort down, but it wasn't the same. I won't lie.
Do you want to know the craziest thing that happened on our whole trip that's not off-road related?
Oh yeah, this is nuts.
Well, hang on a second. Is this? Yeah, I think I'm with Ryan right now. Like, I want to make sure.
My dog sitter had a baby. She went into labor at my house, and she didn't know she was pregnant.
What? Oh
That's
my
how
God!
crazy
No.
This week was. She had.
That's an MTV show.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing ever. I could go into all the details, which we won't, but like, that's how crazy this week was. Like the weirdest. I can't even make it up. Like.
Is mom and the baby okay? Like, I feel like that's just the one question I should ask.
Baby is healthy. She had like a weird, it's called an endo pregnancy. And basically the baby shouldn't be healthy, but it's 100% healthy. Mom is 100% healthy. Yeah. Everything's great. But she's texting me at 2 a.m. I don't know what's going on, but I am in so much pain and I need to go to the hospital. And I was like, what? And then still hours later, they didn't know that she was pregnant because she was having her cycle and everything was like, it's a whole weird story. We won't even get into it, but yeah, that's the weirdest thing that happened on our trip is my dog.
It also might be the weirdest story we've told in this show so far. Yeah.
It might be.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, just a little weird nod.
So how many weeks was she when she delivered?
It was a full-term baby, 6 pounds, 4 ounces. Yep. Girl,
not healthy. Showing any signs. Like she just wakes up one day and all of a sudden you're having a baby. It's like, I like a movie or like a horror movie.
Yeah.
I mean, for us. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that are probably like, that's not how it works. But like, yeah, it's the weirdest.
That's really what happened.
It's really what happened. And even the doctors didn't, because she was on birth control the entire time. She was, it's a crazy story. But yeah. Even my dog sitter had a baby at my house.
Yeah, I joke about it being an MTV show, but it was an MTV show, I think. It was like, I didn't know I was pregnant or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah. Wow. So that's the weirdest thing. Yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd let you know. That was just like, I still can't believe it is real. She sent us a picture. And Pope's like, "Can you put a newspaper next to that for me?"
Yeah. I need a timestamp on this, please.
I need a timestamp. I want to make sure it's not a stock photo from the internet.
Right?
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, on to off-road things, but that was a funny story.
Yep.
Well, let's see here. All right. Well, so I don't know, since you guys have been gone for a couple weeks, you were here for our first Patreon subscriber, yes?
Yes.
All right, we have another.
Two. Holy cow.
Our own unpaid associate intern producer has signed up, and so thank you very much, Nathan. Appreciate it.
Oh. Now he's a paying producer?
Yeah. He is a paying producer, so I'm gonna have to, like, by the time I get done to this, there was an old song where he just threw 1,000 car parts into the song, and he had all these different car parts and that's what his title will be at the end of this. It'll just be a 1,000-word long thing that we're gonna have to shorten into something. And I'm good with it. I think he's okay.
Well, all right.
What were you gonna say, Ryan?
Well, welcome to our Patreon.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much. And I'll answer your question in a minute, Nathan, when I play your voicemail. But the question I'm going to have for you guys at some point too is, I think there's an appetite here, or there will be an appetite here to do like I don't know, maybe some kind of a gift box of some kind. If we can get some partners to give us some stuff, or maybe some group buys or some kind of that kind of stuff. So we'll see how that pans out. But the Patreon page is live and on the website. So if you're interested in subscribing, it's $4 a month. That helps us just kind of pay the bills. So thank you guys. So thanks Nathan. Thanks Al. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you so much.
We'll get you guys some content just for you guys.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you on your back about that. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get that. We have some fun ideas. We have a couple fun ideas already. So
we do. We got to schedule it, and I got to get it done. So it's just in the middle of summer now, and here we are. To that end,
time flies.
This is, I know, kidding, right? Well, it's not the middle of summer. For some of us, it's the start. Excuse me. For some of us, it's the start of summer.
Yeah.
Some of us are knee deep in the middle of it. I want to remind everybody that I will be out next week. Excuse me, not next week. Next month at the All for Fun event in Buena Vista. We will definitely be there on Wednesday. I will definitely be there on Wednesday. We're going to record the show. So if you see us, come on by and say hi. I'll probably interview you for the show. And then that show will air a little bit after the event itself. But I'm kind of excited about that one. I'm going to have a ton of stuff. Hopefully I have some swag to give away. And come by and see me.
So you guys go during that event? Do you guys go west at all, or is it all those eastern trails out of Buena Vista?
It's all I think it's all the trails. They're local in Buena Vista. They move the event itself to different places. Yeah, sometimes I think last year it was in Idaho Springs.
You have any more blow up costumes like a Care Bear or a Tigger or something like that?
I don't, but there's a full month between now and then, so I can't guarantee that there won't be more. But the unicorn one is coming with me. I'll definitely take that one with me for no other reason than...
I think Disney lost the copyright to Steamboat Willie, so you can make one of those ones now.
I could. I won't, but I could. Yeah. I got the unicorn one because it was on sale, but I'm not opposed to buying more, but they are expensive. Like some of those, they get upwards of $60, $70, and I'm just, I use it once in a blue moon, and for as much fun as it is, I'll just keep using the unicorn one. The next time I'll do the short arms though, so it's the T-Rex arms, so you guys will get the full experience. All right, well, cool. So Nathan, thank you very much for that. We didn't get any new reviews this week. But you guys missed it. Nathan called in his posse and bombed us with 3 reviews. So we got 3 reviews. Were you guys here for that? Okay.
Yep.
So this is what happens. I get lost in my own week. Yeah, I've been too busy. It's been too much going on. All right, let's get to Nathan's voicemail. I'm already tired of listening to myself. Come on. You could do it too.
God, you're more annoying than a creative voicemail message.
Nathan? Nathan?
Yo, 148, 3 to the 3 to the 6 to the 9, representing the ABQ.
Oh, shit. Good morning. Don't worry, I'm not forgetting my weekly call this time. Not much Jeep-related stuff or off-road related stuff going on this week. Still working through the large volume of video that I took while we were up at the Bantam Jeep Heritage Festival a couple weekends ago. But I definitely wanted to say thank you for the recommendations on the podcast last week. I started using CapCut. I had heard of it before and never really gave it a shot. I kind of hated how all the current apps like those for video editing kind of spam you with like subscription upgrades and stuff like that. But just even using the base app there, it's significantly better than iMovie and some of the other ones I had tried. So huge thank you there. That's going to be my go-to now, at least for a while. But yeah, and the other thing I guess I wanted to say, even with the obscene amount of podcasts I listen to on a weekly basis, I could say the Trailhead podcast is now the first one that I've officially subscribed to the Patreon for, so I made my way over there. Since I let somebody else beat me too, and I had to at least get over there and be number 2 on that list for you. So that's all I have this week, so can't wait to listen to the show later tonight. Hey, back again so soon. I actually had a point about that Patreon, but I driving to work this morning, traffic's a little nuts here, kind of got me distracted. What I was going to say is I was expecting to see one of the annual options over there. I don't know if that's something you have to enable or not, but maybe you might want to consider doing something like that. I know some podcasts I've heard that they have the ability you could do an annual subscription rather than the monthly. For just my 2 cents, that's all I got today. Thanks.
All right, he only had the 2, so we're good now. Yeah.
So did you guys talk about how to utilize your TikTok to get rid of the CapCut watermarks?
No, we did not, but I think everyone should hear this. This hack method.
Since he brought up CapCut here, so one of the things about CapCut is when you try to share to Instagram, if you just download it straight to your phone, it leaves a CapCut watermark in it. But if you have TikTok, and even if you just share it to your story or even to a draft, it will save the video without a watermark on your phone and put it in a draft in TikTok, and then you can go grab it and stick it in your Instagram with the music that you prefer with no watermarks.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that is a fantastic tip. All right.
I like that.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah, I was going to say the saving of the draft part is the biggest thing. Like, you got to save it as the draft, because I forgot.
You just have to let it open it up in TikTok, and then it'll already be there. Yeah.
Even if it drafts, it still downloads. So, yeah, you're right.
Okay. You don't even have to re-download your draft out of TikTok. It'll automatically just put it there on your phone without a watermark, as long as you told it you're going to post it to TikTok. And it doesn't matter if you post it as a story or something else. And you might as well post it to TikTok while you're there. I mean,
if you're going to go through all of the steps, and you can just copy the text and paste it over. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's my hack.
Well, thanks, Randy. Now we're going to go fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because told the world. Because the guys at CapCut listen to us. They give a shit who the hell we are. Yeah. All right.
It's those ByteDance guys in China.
I can barely get the folks in China to listen to me when I actually buy something from them, so they're not doing that. Oh, hey, Pope, I got something for you.
Uh-oh.
Take a look what I got in the mail. It is a brand new dash, because my other dash is hosed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. So I will still complain, and I will keep complaining about Caraboter's speed. Like, getting a hold of them was a giant pain in the ass. But once I finally got a hold of them, they were really good about trying to work out what was going on with me. For those of you who don't know, my horn started going off randomly. I thought it was a clock spring. The dealership took a look at it. They said it's not a clock spring. My cruise control still works. So it's probably a bad control unit that handles all of the communications between my steering wheel and the dash. And they're just like, look, you ordered it before we changed it and upgraded it in 2020. So we're just going to send you out the whole new unit. So the old one will be done. I won't be able to do anything with it. Sorry, dude. But I'm going to get it installed this week, hopefully after my adventure Wednesday. I don't want to screw myself. Yeah, it's the same company. Okay. It's the same dash. Yeah. It's just, I bought mine in like February of 2020 and they updated it in September of 2020. So hopefully, fingers crossed, because there is part of me that will laugh really, really hard if I had to take it back to the dealership and go, look, dudes, I replaced all of the aftermarket gear and it's still the clock spring. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyhow,
sounds like you have a Jeep.
Yeah, I'm reserved to it. Like, I'm not trying to complain. It's, you know what? I can drive my Jeep right now. I don't have any major issues with it other than the rough ride. I'm considering it a win right now for the season. I'm gonna keep riding this as long as I can. I don't have a horn right now.
Oh.
I'm trying to get it back. Yeah, no, I need a horn. I have an air horn. I bought this air horn. It's a train horn for the express purpose of scaring the shit out of people, and I have not been able to do it, and I'm very disappointed.
My wife laughs at me so many times when I want to honk. I'm steering wheel nuts. And of course, that pisses me off even more, so I'm hitting it harder. Yeah.
Like at some point, I would just run a button specifically for a horn just to have one. I think I don't think I'd be able to live without one. I need to be able to tell people how much I hate them in traffic.
It is just satisfying to punch your horn and have it make a sound at the other person. You know.
Yeah,
it's not quite the same as having a button you can push.
Yeah,
it's my instinct.
The problem is though, if you don't have one, then the bumper comes into play, and it's not. And
it's also not good.
Yeah,
it's also not good.
I don't want to leave a windshield mark on the back of your vehicle. So
yeah. All right. And real quick, I made a note for myself, and I'm glad that I did. And Nathan, to answer your question about the annual memberships, we're not that special yet. You have to reach a certain number of subscribers and all that kind of jazz on Patreon. So when we get there, I will enable it because we're going to be around for a while, like it or not.
Nathan, does your horn say the cucaracha? Nathan said he had it.
Yeah, does your horn work, Nathan? I think this is a valid question. Alyssa, does your horn work? You have...
Yeah, mine works. I don't use it often, so it still works.
Oh, so you're not an angry driver? Is that what I just heard?
I feel like Alyssa is like a very sweet driver. She's like, please go ahead of me. Please.
I don't know. I feel like there could be a quiet rage.
Is there a quiet rage inside of you?
Yeah, it's just quiet.
It's like Phoebe from Friends. He's just gonna don't push her too hard, otherwise she'll snap.
Dixie horn.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. Well, so that's the answer for that one. I didn't want to forget about it. We'll try to get, like I said, I'm going to try to start. We're almost to 50 episodes. We should do something for that. And I'm hoping that we can actually we're starting to get some free stuff, from companies that kind of want to give away some stuff for their swag pack. Maybe we can kind of turn that into something for our listeners. I'd love to be able to do that. I know there's an administrative piece to turn that around, but that's what Jen is here for. I'll have her do that. If you have an off-roading news or an event that you would like to promote, make sure you get a hold of us. And if you would like to be like Nathan and leave us voicemails and be a Patreon subscriber, check us out at thetrailheadnetwork.com or leave us a voicemail directly at 719-408-0132. And again, guys, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like, I can't even tell you how much it's so awesome when that came across my phone. So I think that's it for updates. Like I said, no new reviews. Pope, you're up, my friend.
Woohoo!
Let's see here. Let's make sure we have. Is it working?
Let's see if I remember.
Is it working today? I know, right?
Time for the Pope to read the news. Wait, we got the fucking Pope? Sorry, Trailheads. I'm now told it's just a guy named Pope reading the news.
And I'm going to get the ghost of George Carlin to record you a new intro soon, too.
Yeah, George Carlin is the appropriate guy to do my intro for sure.
I figured I got an F-bomb in there for you so you feel good.
Yep. All right, it's time for the fucking news with the Pope. Today, we're talking about the electric Renegade. Yeah, you remember that Jeep Renegade, that guinea pig thing that they canceled? It's coming back. Jeep has announced the all-new electric Renegade EV, set to start at under $25,000. What are they going to do? Just put like a couple of chairs on top of a battery?
Oh, you'll see when you see the range. Yeah.
Making it one of the most affordable electric SUVs available, with a range of approximately 160 miles per charge. Oh, it's about like my Gladiator, the V8. The Renegade EV is designed for both urban driving and moderate off-road adventures, maintaining the rugged capabilities Jeep is known for. This launch is part of Jeep's broader plan to introduce 6 electric models by 2027, positioning itself strongly in the electric vehicle market. Jeep's CEO, Antonio Filosa, highlights that the Renegade EV embodies their commitment to responsible exploration without sacrificing performance, except for your range. Competing with other budget-friendly EVs like the Kia EV3 and the Chevy Equinox EV, the Renegade EV is set to appeal to a diverse range of consumers looking for an eco-friendly yet adventure-ready vehicle. Adventure-ready.
Like, quotation marks.
Yeah. Yeah, you just compared it to a Kia. So
that's the kicker.
I mean,
this
is that worse than when we call it a Fiat? I mean, it's really a Fiat 500, right?
Yeah, it's all. Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
Yeah.
We had a Renegade. We had one, and then we
for 3 months.
For like 3 or 4 months, and then we traded it in for hologram.
Randy, you're not supposed to tell people that.
They're really cute. I think they're cute.
Yeah, well,
but
why did you?
Time,
I mean,
even worse.
I know because you wanted to do the Wrangler, but why did you? What was the calculation when you like this isn't working for us?
I feel like I'm sitting on the concrete. Like
you felt like you're driving a car.
I don't like to drive cars anyway. Like I'm not a fan. I want to be up. I feel like I'm a danger to like other people. Like not I'm in danger, but I'm a danger to other people if I can't see them. So I think it's best if I'm raised. But yeah, we had these visions that we were going to make like a Renegade buggy. Like by the time we like drove it for about 3 months, we had ripped it apart and put like crazy axles under it in our brain. Like we've just had all these ideas. And I was like, yeah, we have to do a lot of things.
Did you suddenly realize you did not have the platform for what you were trying to do?
Yeah.
No, it's really not. I mean,
could have gone and bought a side-by-side.
You would have been better off just buying a side-by-side for the same price, to be honest with you. Because by the time you can make that thing wheelable, you got to get rid of most of the things, transfer case.
The whole thing. You'd have to, like, literally.
Kind of like, just like my Jeep Gladiator, you know, to get the Jeep Gladiator to be wheelable, you had to replace
everything.
The motor, the transfer case, it's a transmission.
I think you have an eighth of a Gladiator left.
Yeah, I don't even have a third of a Gladiator left anymore. It's only like an 1/8. But I mean, I guess, if you look at it the way that I just looked at my Gladiator, yeah, I mean, you can make a buggy out of a Renegade, no problem. But no, we saw this girl wheeling one at Little Moab, and it was doing pretty cool stuff. It needed rock sliders, and once it had rock sliders on it, it was kind of cute, and it would. It could do minimal stuff. It would be kind of fun to take on a trail like Hell's Revenge in Moab, but you probably wouldn't want to do the hard obstacles with it. You'd do bypasses.
But, yeah, we had it for about 3 months, and then we bought the
just wasn't that comfortable of a ride, and it was kind of ugly on the inside. And, every time I sat in it, I felt like I was downgrading my experience to, like, I don't know, it just seemed like I didn't like it.
But I'm excited for them to come out with more electric vehicles, though.
Yeah, that's
cool.
Like the Compass is the comparable thing. That's the exact same platform, and it's so much cuter by comparison versus the Renegade. And I just think I liked the Mr. Bean of it, and then when I started driving it, I'm like, oh, I don't like this anymore because it reminds me of Mr. Bean.
Like, how tall are you, Pope?
Just over 6'1" something like that. Not that tall.
Really? And you got in a Renegade, like, comfortably?
No.
Okay. Good. I just want to make sure, because I'm 6'6", and I was about to call bullshit. That's why I wanted to ask.
No.
Okay.
See, this is the funny
You had to have the seat all the way back, and then you had to have the seat, like, tilted back. I felt like Hightower in Police Academy in that damn thing.
Yeah.
This is the funny thing is I've been driving a Jeep, like either a JK or a JL since 2011, right? And then we get this truck, this F-350 with like massaging seats and like 500 cup holders. And all of a sudden we get in Misfit to share Misfit in the front. And I'm like, oh my God, this is why people think they're tiny. I didn't realize how small a Jeep was until we got the F-350 and we drive like 2 or 3 hours in like luxury. And then I get in the Misfit and we're both like this. And I'm like, quit using my cup holder.
I don't like driving rental cars because I feel like I'm gonna find out how good it can be and be like, oh, I'm gonna start get a wandering eye. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm faithful to the Jeep.
The first car that made me start looking more seriously at a truck was the Chevy Tahoe that we rented to get back from was it Colorado, from Montrose?
Yeah, when
Jim broke in Montrose, we rented this Chevy Tahoe, and it had like the adjustable seat, massaging seats, and it was just like the nicest little. Had all of a sudden I'm driving something with some power. I'm like, wow. Randy's like, whoa, you're going so fast. I'm like, yeah, it just feels like I'm driving.
It's because I can just barely press the pedal and it does that.
It does stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're a Jeep driver and you feel pretty content with it, don't drive anything.
Don't drive something else.
Don't drive anything else.
Don't drive anything else because it's an illusion.
But
you're just cool because you're driving a Jeep.
And if Jeep went out of their way to make it feel as good as a Chevy Tahoe, you just rip out all the parts that made it that good anyway. So just stay where you're at. Just stay in your own car.
Well, it would be their Wagoneer,
Yeah.
and you're not taking that off-road after.
No, the Wagoneer is a cool car to take out to.
$1,000 for that rig,
right?
You know what? How much does it weigh? I think that's the problem.
It's probably the same as Tahoe.
Probably.
Say it's probably far off from that, but I don't.
The electric one's going to be heavier though because of the battery.
Man, I just don't get the Renegade electric thing. Like, what market is really going to purchase this thing? City dwellers?
My mother-in-law.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But city dwellers that want a Jeep, like, how big is that market? Because you're not going to take it off-road. It's 160-mile range. By the time you get to where you're going, you're done.
Yeah, you're not even getting out of town.
Yeah, you're not getting out of town. So you got, I don't know. I just don't. I'm not going to say people are smarter than I am because I don't. Never mind.
I think the farce is that they're calling it like it's going to be something that people buy for off-roading, and it's not. Like it's barely a Subaru.
It's barely a Subaru, and they're really just kind of selling them to take tick marks off the check boxes of electric cars versus V8s that they're selling, you know. And
they're getting rid of those too because I mean they got the V6 turbo now, and the so I just don't get why you even produce this thing. Like, what's the point?
I think a 4xe would be more reasonable, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like a hybrid 4xe. I think that would be.
Well, take gas with you and fill it up if you need to.
That's probably the most dumbfounding thing for me about the whole electric conversation. Anyway, we have just launched ourselves beyond hybrids, hydrogen, all these alternative avenues we could have taken, and just gone straight for the max and just pure electric across the board. And it's like, you guys are missing the boat.
Well, and I think that the market responded to that and that's kind of the part that surprised me about the story was like, so Jeep is going to stick with that 7 fully electric models then by 2027. Like that's, so you're going to hold on to that. You've said elsewhere that you're going to pull back from all electric models.
What they do, you're pulling back.
Right. And if you've seen what Jeep did with the internal combustion motor with the Jeep with the 25,000 Jeep Renegade before, the way it was before, like it wasn't comfortable to be in it. You felt like you're in something cheap on the inside. Yeah. Like the sunroof was fragile. Like we had to fix our sunroof twice in 3 months, and it's just like these silly little things. The thing is,
they're cheap.
They're cheap. And like Ford is showing off with my F-350 how awesome something can be, and Jeep's best thing doesn't even come close to comparison on a Wrangler, and the best Renegade, of course, isn't going to come even anywhere close. They're not the same market. I understand that, but like this is just something for like a college kid or something, you know. And at 25,000 in this economy, might as well be free. But they're not good parts. They weren't using good parts, and I think that's why they've been having a problem in the first place.
Well, and that's in the other story that we have is part of that conversation is the fact that Jeep has had a quality problem for a long time now.
Right.
So, and we have it's such a quality problem that we joke about it on every show, right? Like but especially lately with they've gotten a bad rep as of late, and I think they're trying to fix it. And I remember after. Well, I'll let you finish. I'll let you read it up.
No, you want to read the next one? Yeah, I think that this kind of goes in long lines with that. And so you know that they're not going to do like a Renegade Platinum with a massaging seat, that's for sure.
There's not going to be a $60,000 Renegade version?
No, that would be sweet, though. Might work. Jeep to limit trims. Jeep has announced a shift in its vehicle production and sales approach. Faced with declining sales, rising costs, and quality concerns, Jeep CEO Bill Peffer is implementing a new strategy to simplify its lineup. Is that a different CEO than Jeep's other CEO from the other article, Antonio Filosa?
Yeah, I don't know why it's hey, AI hallucinates sometimes. So
it is
an article I got. I had the wrong one.
The CEO is Antonio Filosa.
There it is.
But I think that Bill Peffer is somebody in marketing.
I think he's the marketing guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they're implementing a new strategy to simplify its lineup. Peffer believes that reducing the number of trims available on models like the Wrangler and Gladiator will not only ease customers' decision-making process, but also improve manufacturing efficiency and overall vehicle quality. The move comes as Jeep grapples with the complexities of its current catalog, which includes multiple configurations and options for each model, which is actually the only thing they got going for them. Peffer points to the Wagoneer S as a model for this new approach, offering a single configuration to streamline both production and purchasing. This decision is part of a broader effort to adjust the quality issues which have plagued the brand in recent years. Yeah, like the stupid freaking auto start stop battery.
Yeah.
By focusing on fewer, more consistent builds, Jeep aims to reduce errors and enhance the reliability of its vehicles. All right, Jeep.
Do
we need to have a talk, Jeep?
We definitely need to have a talk. Do you guys remember at the end of the JKs when they had announced that the JLs were coming, and they had said, so there was this whole contingent of Jeep owners that had just said, okay, fine, I'm not going to buy a JK. I'm just going to hold out until they release the new Jeep. And that was like a 3 or 4 year, at least, kind of a lead time. So they started offering all these trim packages that you could get. Like you could get, specialty hard top colors and, color packages and shit like that. And then they kind of kept it up with the JL. And I think they're like, I don't know. Do you guys think there's too many models now? There's a list of 15, I think, that I found recently.
So I think if you break down the JL, there's basically Sport, Sahara, when the Gladiator version is Mojave. And then there is Rubicon, and then they have and then they've got the Willys, which is like where the confusion comes in, because the Willys is just a Sport with a different sticker on it.
Yep.
And so, I think that the problem is kind of in that, like, there may be a little bit of confusion if you have too many trims, but at the base of it, I think that the amount of trims they have is about appropriate. Like Sport is a trimmed down version, so it's either for an enthusiast who's going to rip it apart and build up new parts on it, or for someone who's a budget conscious buyer who wants to have a Jeep for really cheap. That's one of the things that appealed to us about our 2-door Sport.
Well, so if I take out the let's see, the 392, which is the last year for that this year.
Mm-hmm.
You said
the Wrangler. Yeah, I know, right? Well, it's the last one you can get from the factory,
right?
So people can stop complaining about being able to finance a 392
at one point, right? They had the 2.0 turbo motor. They have the 4xe model. They've got the 392 model. They got the 3.6, and at one point they had the diesel also in the Wrangler.
The Eco Diesel.
Yep, the Eco Diesel.
Yeah, and they've gotten rid of all that now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically down to the 4xe is probably one of their most popular things that they sell right now in the Rubicon trim, obviously.
Well, so they're talking like the high altitude trim, the high tide trim, obviously the Rubicon Far Out, which I've never heard of before, the Sahara Altitude, Sport Altitude, Sport S, Willys
Has
Sport.
anyone ever heard of anybody who actually bought one of the high altitudes or I've never.
I have seen 2 high tides here in Denver, and one of them I work with, so yeah. I don't know.
I've seen Saharas by the Grundle. I haven't seen that high altitude one, and I live in a high altitude state, so.
Well, and Bryce has
I don't even know what the high altitude had on it.
X.
Yeah, what's the Rubicon X?
It comes with like the 35-inch tires and a 2.5-inch lift, and actually, I was pretty impressed. It was his third trail, and he did Doc's Beach in in Vernal.
Yeah.
Like a crazy person with like a stock.
The stock Rubicon on 35s can do that trail, so
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. But I think
I guess
I don't know. I think they might have too many. I think you only need 4. Maybe that's okay. But I think you need to have something kind of some way to add luxury to the trim. Like if I want to have something a little bit nicer in the seats or the lighting packages, and that's kind of what they do today anyway. I don't think they would be taking that away.
No, I think they're just talking about bringing it from 14 to maybe 5 or 6 max.
Yeah, I think that's probably okay.
I think that's what we had before the end of the JK. Like I feel like that was what the models were that we kind of had available to us. Some of this seems excessive. Like why are there multiple versions of the Sport? I feel like there should just be, they're both almost the same price, starting price. So yeah. All right.
How would you know the difference, right?
Maybe it has to do with where you're located too.
They're probably right. I know a lot of the things that they do make a lot of sense in terms of reusing the platform across different brands, reusing like a lot of the interior stuff. All their things are pretty much laid out the same across the portfolio. That all makes a lot of sense. It's a great way to save costs and improve quality. I think that you just gotta like catch these things. Like what's the weirdness that's causing all the paint problems that people are having on the jails where they're rusting all of a sudden, and there's all these weird computer glitches that people are trying to figure out. That kind of stuff you got to kind of nail down a little bit more. Maybe they'll be able to now.
Yeah, exactly. If you get more time to dedicate to that. So, all right, let's do the last one because it's in that same vein of electric.
Oh, this is an interesting.
And we have so much because you weren't here, so I apologize.
Oh, that's all right. We haven't had a news show in quite a minute. All right, so Polaris Charging Network. Do you know Polaris has EVs? Polaris has launched the first ever trail charging network for electric off-road vehicles. This network, located in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, is a great big move funded by a $700,000 grant from the state of Michigan. Polaris has set up 4 charging stations along 100 miles of trails. They use solar power and can store enough energy without being connected to the main power grid. Enough energy for what is my question.
To power an electric ATV. Yeah. This is not a Jeep power station, guys.
Yeah, central to this project is the Polaris Ranger XP Kinetic, an electric off-road vehicle that debuted in 2023. The new charging stations support this vehicle, which touts a quieter and cleaner off-roading experience. So if that's kind of neat. I just wish it was in Moab. But I also don't have an electric Polaris, so I guess it's not really relevant to me.
I mean, you don't have an electric Jeep, and Jeep has a couple of charging stations in Moab now, so
yeah,
that's kind of both, right?
It is.
I think for me, the article was. I mean, obviously, none of us are. I don't think any of us really are ATV people, Alyssa, unless there's something you haven't told us before. And Ryan, I don't think you have one either. No.
They're fun, but I don't have one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if I could bring myself to buy one these days.
I got enough things to tow.
Yeah.
Well, these
we live off grid.
Yeah, there is that too.
Or if you rent or something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say never. If the kids ever get into dirt biking and stuff, it probably will be the sell of the Jeep and buy a side by side to keep up with them and go to.
Considering the price, though, you might just want to buy a Renegade and start lifting it because the Ranger XP Kinetic is $25,000.
It's insane. As long as this Polaris station has a plug-in for my Renegade, I'll be good. So
I mean,
they might.
It'll be good.
So Nathan was talking about how he had a 2017 Renegade. He actually did some of the stuff that we were thinking of doing to it. The 29-inch tires, Terraflex rim, the pinch weld trim. I actually tried doing the pinch weld trim to my Gladiator because I learned it from the Renegade, and my Jeep builder's like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, it was It's an interesting. It was fun. Like I said, you could probably wheel it. You could probably work on it. One of the biggest things out here in Salt Lake is no one would work on it. And
really? Why not?
No one wanted to change it from what it was originally. So, like shops would do bigger shocks for you. They would make a change to the springs, but no one will actually want to install a lift or anything like that on it because it would. I don't know if it was related to Jeep dealerships out here saying please stop doing that, but basically it would cause it to not function as well. They would go through ball joints a lot. It would actually cause some issues with the suspension, but I also would argue that my regular Jeep had that same problem too.
I was gonna say, what's the Jeep?
Like for real though, it's hard to point the finger at one item anymore these days.
But the main thing is that the transfer case is an all-wheel drive transfer case, and so you don't have a true 4-low with it. And that's the main limitation of it is that. But other than that, I thought it would be a fun Jeep to drive. It was pretty fun, but I have all these other monster trucks that are just way better.
Wow.
Yeah. I just can't wrap my head off-road and electric. I just can't do it. I don't see it.
The recharge time isn't fast enough for us.
I don't see
the charge time is not fast enough. You would be carrying around a diesel generator anyway.
I don't get it.
You get me down to less than 30 minutes to go from a 10% battery charge to 100%, and we're actually in a place where we can actually have a conversation.
I think hot swappable batteries would be a cool thing, kind of like my drill. When my drill battery runs out, I can go grab another battery and just put it on there.
To this day, I don't know the technology I saw, but I know I saw it. It was a Facebook video, and this guy drove a pickup truck up to this port, unloaded a battery, loaded a new battery in, and he drove off. And that's
if you guys ever seen the hybrid trailer, it's like so what they have is basically a trailer that's got its own electric motor on it that actually helps push the trailer on and the diesel. So the diesel doesn't have to do as much work as it's pushing the trailer. And then the diesel's motor keeps the trailer charged, and the brakes and everything on as the trailer's doing its job. All that stuff actually stores energy in the battery, so it increases the fuel economy on a trailer substantially. I wish I could remember who made that.
A million things that can go wrong with that.
Yeah. Like it can literally drive itself around by itself the way that they've configured it, because it's got its own set of motors and its own set of brakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting.
If there's an issue with that, the one check engine light will not cover the amount of problems.
You're going to need an AI system that can go through and describe to you what the problem is. Yeah. I think it's good. Like I think these things are the future at some point. And I know you're not sold on it, Ryan, and I get it. I'm not technically.
I think people in Moab would be way less pissed off if everyone was driving around electric Polaris side by sides instead of these obnoxious loud motor things like
but
Jeep.
Everybody would be so sad because they would go 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 go, go, go. Then we would have like those it would turn into that electric, the fake sounds like your ringtone. Like you could pick
that's fine, because then you can at least turn them off while you're driving through town. Yeah, at least there's that.
Yeah. Nathan agrees with our opinion on the swappable batteries.
I was going to say, if everybody else would just drive an electric vehicle, my gas would be a lot cheaper. So if you guys could figure that out, I'd greatly appreciate it.
That would be greatly appreciated. Yeah. Actually, I would like that too, please. And if you have a diesel pickup, go ahead and swap out to a Tesla Cybertruck.
Please and thank you.
So my gas is cheaper.
I just want people.
Have you guys seen the Cybertruck in real life yet? They're starting to show up around Salt Lake.
They're so ugly.
I've seen 2 now.
Yeah,
so
I saw them.
My favorite meme is the truck that's carrying a bunch of dumpsters, and it's like
I saw that today.
have you
new
seen that? It's
Cybertrucks.
so funny.
Yeah.
Look, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of Cybertrucks. Yeah, like they just are not cute. Like in real life, I think they're a joke. Like I keep thinking that they're a joke, and then people actually bought one. Like I'm confused.
I saw one a couple weeks ago in traffic, and I had feelings about it.
They're big and obnoxious, and in the middle of everybody.
They're weird.
I very much I had
Dear
one
me.
thing that
What
I
are
could
those
think
things
of when I
coming out of
saw
your
it, and it
mirrors?
was just the Spaceballs movie, and just the oh shit, there goes the planet. Like
Spaceballs?
it looks
Oh,
kind of cool.
shit.
Like it was
There
okay,
goes the
but
planet.
Yeah.
I just it's a
me.
big box,
What are those
and
things
like
coming out of
as
your
a person
mirrors?
who has long loved the Jeep, which is considered a big box, it's a box. I don't get
Yeah.
it.
It's like
Whatever.
It's like a 5-year-old drew a DeLorean.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, you'll have
All
me
right.
sold on EVs when I see one on Metal Masher, Pritchett, name it. You know,
I
Yeah.
dude, give it less than 12 months. Give it less than 12 months. You'll see a
Okay.
Cybertruck out there. Like they're building them.
Rubistina took his 4XE on
They've been
Poison
out there.
Spider.
yeah, but it's still the 4XE still running it's really just a hybrid.
Yeah, it literally has the same motor as Gem plus an electric motor.
Yeah, which I'm okay with that all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see the Cybertruck making it. God forbid the time one of them actually rolls over and punctures something or leaks something.
I
see like a turtle upside down and it can't get up.
I was like, let's roll.
The fire that comes after that will not be pretty.
Oh, it might be though. Different colors from the lithium burning.
Blue and green and gorgeous.
The Northern Lights.
Yes, exactly.
So bad. Yeah.
We
That's
need
when I
to
lived
get
in
the.
Moab.
Go ahead, Alyssa.
There were two in Moab, but I didn't see what trail they came off of. I don't know what
back up
trails
the
they
trail and then pull off. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, I think they were on
That's what
like
it is
basic
then.
trails, but
Probably like Rose Garden, Onion Creek.
yeah, or I can't think of
We
the
Moab
Onion
We
Creek
need to get Heavy D on.
or something. No, it was the Kroger parking lot, but
The Kroger
that's
parking
cool.
lot.
I don't remember what it's called.
Super King or something
Whatever,
like that.
super, yeah. It's
King
one
Super.
of
King
those.
Supers.
They just
Maybe,
feel
yeah.
like
It's King
they're-
Supers. Yeah.
They literally
That's fun.
feel like the apocalypse. Like I don't know what it is. They're
Mhm.
just they look like
They're a
thrown
very
together.
Mad Max vehicle, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
too clean to be a Mad Max vehicle, though. Oh, what is that? I want that truck or that bus.
The bus. Oh yeah, the bus is fun.
I want to get this guy in the show. I don't know how big we have to be before I can get his attention, but I want this guy in the show.
Yeah.
I want to talk to him.
I want to see the breakdown of the build cost for this Cybertruck.
I almost guarantee you he wouldn't release that information.
Oh jeez. $500,000.
I feel like there's a lot of people buying stuff in there. Yeah.
Their old show, Diesel Brothers, was a lot of fun.
Yeah. They're cool stuff.
I met
I
them.
liked watching their ridiculous builds.
Yeah. I met them the first year they were at SEMA, which was very cool. You kind of just were like, oh, hey. I mean, because they weren't anybody that year. But, and then the next year, like, oh, crap. Should have
That's how we're going to be next year, Ryan.
That's right.
That's how we're going to be next year.
They're going to feel like they were nothing.
Let's take the drive shafts out of our Jeeps and let's take them to SEMA and put them on display.
Yes.
I could have taken my old one out. I mean, I definitely got that replaced within the last 6 months.
Wow, me too. I got one replaced just like 3 weeks ago.
I didn't have a choice. I broke my last one.
Oh. I had a nice line right around mine, like it was like 1/8 of an inch thick that just dug into the damn thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
this looks
entirely
like a weak
possible
spot.
that it was there beforehand. Exactly. It was possible that it was there beforehand, but once somebody was inspecting it, they're like, this needs to be replaced. All right.
Everybody else overlooked
All right,
it,
well-
and I was under my Jeep. I'm like, hey, wait, is that bad? I don't think.
I don't think there's supposed to be a hairline fracture here. Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's supposed to have a candy cane groove all along it here.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody missed a candy cane groove. That's not good.
It's like the dumbest idea in the world is to go out and be like, hey, I'm going to go land on my Jeep and see what it looks like.
Yeah, it is. Like, you go under there with wrenches and stuff, and then next thing you know, you've got more wrenches and the jack under there.
And the next thing you know, it's Christmas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shit. All right. Well, that's well. Thank you, Pope. I appreciate that. We had to get we had this backlog of news stories, and it felt like we needed to get you in here just to get that cleared up. Because if you weren't here today, we were going to read them. We're going to get them done.
Yeah, I heard Ryan knows how to read. He could probably help with the news too.
Ryan doesn't read in public. Period. Ryan was not that kind of kid in school. He does not do that.
Oh, I was. I was the nerd on the TV broadcast that would then skip school the rest of the day after all the teachers saw me on the news.
There it is. Because you can get away with a lot when you did that stuff.
Yeah, I was the kid that read the chapters that were coming up, or the paragraphs, when we went around the room and all the kids had to read one paragraph. I was the kid that counted out the paragraphs just so I could read through the paragraph that was going to be.
Get yourself prepared.
Yeah, get myself prepared.
Yeah.
And then she just skipped or let that one kid read too, and then I was screwed. And it was like,
it's like going back through my history. Like, where did your anxiety begin? Right around there, somewhere in that general area.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Well, let's see here. We have, after the news, we don't have anything else because we don't have a topic for tonight because I knew we'd be an hour and 23 minutes into the show before we got to the end of that, which is fine for me. That's less for me to prepare for. But I will share, we'll do a couple of This Week in Fails and various videos that we have shared amongst ourselves this week. This first one, I want to know your guys' thoughts because I know what I thought about this when I first saw this. So here you go.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
it's actually been around for a while.
It has.
Yeah.
It's
so
ridiculous.
What's your first thoughts?
Everyone's jealous of you.
Like first impressions. What's your first, because my first impression of this is I will be on the trail for 4 minutes and then something's going to break. Like that's just
There's
too
way
many
too
pieces.
many things to break, but it's super cool. I'd love to see it on trail.
If you're listening, it's like this. Like I can. How do I describe this? Like a double jointed or triple jointed wheel suspension system.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it has the ability to change its wheelbase out and increase its clearance all at once.
Somebody commented as one of the spider thing from Wild Wild West.
Wow, yeah.
It's kind of like that.
This thing's been out for a while, and I think I've seen a few pictures of him on the trail, but I haven't seen him taking on anything heavy.
There was I've seen him on YouTube on a hardcore video, and there's we muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Sorry.
I can't hear it, so I didn't know. No. I didn't know it was playing noise.
Playing.
So I've seen him
Alyssa,
on
I just kept going.
YouTube. I'm trying to remember whose page it was, but he was actually doing some serious rock crawling in that thing. Yeah.
Was it
That's
functioning?
crazy.
Well, it was cool because he could drive up, and then his front wheels weren't far enough, so he brought them up farther. So his wheelbase, he extended it, and then he started crawling, and then he brought the back up. It was crazy.
Yeah, but what's
Who's YouTube?
What's the
I'm
left
trying
or
to
right?
remember who it is.
He can't have
Let's
much
see.
flex left to right on it. Right to left,
I
left
don't
to
think
right.
so. I think it's more
I
like,
know.
Straight up and straight down.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks like he just took two I-beams and X'd them.
Yeah. Man, I
mean,
can't
it's
figure it out. I
cool.
can't remember who it is right now, but they're pretty. a buggy page, and they do a
Rock
lot. They
Dog
did,
Crawler. You're
it
there.
wasn't him, but it was someone from Arizona that's in a
there's
similar
that
group.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some of the hard. They did some hardcore stuff with that thing. I don't know if it has rear steer on top of everything else that it has. I would imagine it does.
I think it does.
Yeah, it looked like it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it solves all of the problems of owning a long wheelbase or a short wheelbase all at once.
Yeah, and you never knock someone's build because it's a creative idea, and you put craziness on it, and
yeah.
that's how
it looks like something
right
from
there.
a comic, right there. Yeah. It looks like something from a comic, like something a bad guy villain would drive.
Yeah, it's
I immediately thought it was like a Boston Dynamics, like an MIT like Dynamics thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, kind of.
It reminds me a lot
I
of
can
their
see
robotic
that.
stuff. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. That's just a lot of engineering. I'm
imagine
impressed
it
by
probably
it.
Doesn't go fast. I think it's probably its limit.
That's very much a trailer queen. Mm-hmm.
But look at this thing. It can go.
That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty impressive. All right, so that was a non-fail video. Let's see. I hope that we didn't do any of these last week, but if we did, that's okay because Pope and Randy weren't here for it. I won't turn the sound on for this one.
This is just a bad
We'll just do
I don't even know what
the
you're doing.
straight up. Yeah, you know what's gonna happen here.
I know what's gonna happen. Oh, that wasn't what I thought was gonna happen.
Trying to pull the tree out?
That was better, right? A window's cheaper than a bumper.
It's also better that there's probably nobody in that back seat, right?
Yeah.
Like if you'd been pulling from the front, that'd be in somebody's face.
Why are they pulling that out in the first place?
Pull on the bottom instead of the top.
Right.
I think this comment
Because then you lose your bumper.
this sums it up right here. Yeah, that's what they get for dicking around in the desert. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it looks like they're trying to pull a Joshua tree out, which serves no purpose whatsoever.
No,
right.
And you got what you deserved.
What if they
Don't
were
do stupid shit?
Something innocent, like that thing on their trailer was stuck and they were trying to get it out, so they used the tree to yank it out?
I doubt it.
The receiver.
Man, Pope, you have you could put a better light on it than I can. Yeah, I don't think I can give them that much credit. I think that's just a jackass in the desert with a pull line.
Yeah. Fire when they thought this was going to be the key to it all.
Oh,
that would be the right answer. Yep.
That's it.
Think
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this must be like on Hurrah Pass or Chicken Corners.
Either way, I hope they had a good time explaining it to their insurance company. All right.
What had happened was,
that's a public.
What had happened was. If I shared this one anyway, I want to share this one for Pope and Randy just because.
I don't know.
We didn't share this one. Okay. Yep. So that YJ just went.
Well,
so this is the part of the video that kills me, right? So he rolls, which is fine. And then you think your friends would help you, but nope. 4 people push it and then just kill it.
Well, it seems like you're almost to the top of whatever you were trying to get to, and then just winch line right there. You're fine.
Right. Just winch it back over.
Pop him back over, winch.
But it looks like it's a competition of some sort.
I mean, it could have been. Maybe they're just trying to get it back over while it was still running real fast.
Yeah, that was a bad idea to leave it running.
Well, I don't think it over.
Oh, no, he's in it with his helmet and the whole 9 yards. I feel like this was only like a couple of seconds. Oh, no, he's not in it.
No.
Okay.
So,
I don't know. Throw it down the hill for fun, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what you.
I mean, hey, to each their own. But it looks like it was running when they turned it over. I don't understand. All right.
Yeah. Don't try that at home.
Yeah.
Don't try that at home. Don't try that at home at all. Let's see here. We got. Oh, these are my favorite. I love these videos. Hang on a second here. Just because people are dumb and they think they can hold vehicles up. And I'm going to go ahead and say this before the video plays.
I have a video for you?
Can't. You cannot hold a video, or you cannot hold a. You cannot hold a truck. You cannot hold it up. What'd you say, Alyssa?
Oh no, I'm watching. I I can't do that stuff. I can't watch.
And here we
No
go.
one's in
And he's got his
front,
little.
right?
He's no, but there's a couple
Okay.
people. Like there's like 4 people behind. Like the guy gets pulled.
I guarantee you, he stepped in some mud and his foot came off that clutch.
So when you guys are sitting there with
Just
somebody
boom,
holding your
see.
Jeep up on the Dragon's Tail on Steelbender, just look at this video and decide to attach that to another vehicle, please.
You are not. Yeah, you are not the deciding factor. Like there's 99% chance you are not the deciding factor in whether or not that vehicle's going to go over.
Like Andre the Giant isn't holding that damn vehicle up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I feel
No.
like his
Which
foot came
team
off
won?
that clutch.
Which
Yeah.
team won? She says.
Yeah.
Nobody
Because this
wins
is
there.
this
He's
Nobody
is
lucky
like
he
wins.
didn't hit that ramp.
competition.
Yeah, what about the other guys?
It does.
It looks like one of those weird European competitions where it's all like human strength stuff.
They do some weird shit with Jimneys,
It's
is what I'm
so
saying.
weird.
Yeah. Hey,
They tried.
if you're listening to this and you happen to be in one of those countries, I know there's a couple of you. Feel free to leave us a voicemail or come on the show and explain to us exactly what the purpose of this is, because there's a lot of people here to watch these morons do this, and I'm just kind of like, these people here on the side, like they're just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not worried at all that that's gonna juke left? Because I would be.
Well, and that's the thing. When you see those sand dunes videos from the Middle East, and there's like rows of people sitting up there at the top waiting to get bowled over by whatever makes it over the top.
Yeah, and all the rally ones where they're coming by at 40 to 50 miles an hour on these dirt roads, and these people right next to the road. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, so
whatever.
Like, gravity works by the things in the front. They weigh a lot, right? In order to stop that from going there, the things in the back have to weigh more than the thing in the front.
He didn't even try to drop it over. He just sent it.
No, he just went off the clutch.
No, I think your point is right, Ryan. I didn't see that before. Like, that wheel just suddenly started spinning like he lost his foot. Yep. All right. I got the last one for you, and it's in the same vein of don't push over and don't try to hold vehicles from rolling over. Let's see here. Let's go back to that to make sure I get it right. So I just want to make sure that, I forgot how long this video is. All right. Last one.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And just when you think, it's finally done. Thank God, it's finally done. It's not going over any further.
I like how all four of them just stand there like.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's we were worried about something like this happening to Jem when we were recovering Jem. That's why we had to have winches on both sides.
Yeah. I show these videos because, and these are obviously these are in another country, but I show these videos because
they have different kinds of safety videos out there.
Right. Ours is what not to do.
Yeah.
Our purpose in life is to serve as an example as to what not to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. That's the only ones I wanted to share. I think those are the only ones I had for this week. Let me double check. Yeah, that's it. That's the amount of tabs to show. All right. I don't have anything else, guys. You got anything else you want to chat about before we get out of here? I feel like we've done enough damage in an hour and a half.
To check your bolts. If you have full float axles, check your rear axle shafts. Make sure they're tight. If you have diff oil squirting out torque your bead locks. If you have diff oil squirting out your axles, there's a probably good chance your axle shafts aren't torqued correctly. Get that down.
Things Pope learned on this trip.
Dynatrack or Fusion or Dana 60s, 95 pounds, and red Loctite is recommended.
All right, we're going to put that into the show notes specifically. Awesome. All right.
That's my party words.
Alyssa, do you have any party words for the group for the day?
Can't think of anything, but I will go double check all my bolts this week. Thank you, Pope.
And don't try to hold down the chimney. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan?
I still have to take bolts off before I can worry about putting them back on. So,
look, I'm really proud. Again, I want to reiterate how proud I am of you that you took all of the bolts off and you plan on putting all of the bolts back on. We've discussed about how I'm not going to be riding with you based on your other bolt.
I mean,
behavior, if you will.
While I was under there, I did realize that I did not tighten one of the coilover bolts all the way.
Never getting in the Jeep with you, buddy. Never.
Hey, it held.
I love you. I love you to death.
What do you want? It held together.
That's not what I want on my tombstone.
I was like, I should tighten that one. Okay.
That's awesome. All right. Well, that's about it. Make sure that you check out the trailheadnetwork.com for updates, show notes. Check out the Blue Ribbon Coalition's website, sharetrails.org. Make sure you get involved with them. They're always doing stuff for us. Let's do some stuff for them. And leave us a voicemail. If you want to be on the show, 719-408-0132. And we want to hear from you. And again, thanks Al, thanks Nathan. We really appreciate you guys being subscribers and Patreon. Like I can't seriously. Thanks so much, guys. So, all right. Parting shot. Anybody got anything left? Ryan, I know you have a shot.
Yeah, I brought this is what I'm sticking to tonight, right there.
Alyssa's currently in her winter phase where she's not actually drinking alcohol because it's too hot. So, to y'all.
Cheers,
everybody. All right, finish it out.
Cheers.
All right, we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. See you next time at the Trailhead. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Adventure ready. Kinda.
Hey, that's the AI. The AI pumped that out. I had to put the air quotes around it. I'm like, I don't feel like that's not something Pope would say. All right. How long is it going to take for this to show up in here? Here it is. All right. We should be on Instagram.
Our executive producer is here.
Awesome.
He's already joined.
Nathan, thank you very much.
He's clocked in for the day.
Awesome. And Mike Randall, of course, is on Instagram watching because he's a glutton for punishment and likes to apparently just listen to us and the little purple's lighting up on the screen. Someday they'll fix it. I just don't know when. I just don't know when. So, all right.